I've just received this private message, and I'm just going to address some of the points in it because because I can, and I think it's important sometimes because it just gives you that extra bit of clarity about me. No, I don't think that I'm a better mystic than anybody else out there because I've got different views to you. I don't. I don't even regard myself as a mystic. That is a word which other people have applied to me. And as a result of that, I don't even feature in like the discussion as to what a mystic is or should be or could be. I just don't do that. Alright, yeah, I mean, I have been playing around with weird stuff for years. Actually, no, that's a lie. I've been playing around with weird stuff for decades. Alright? And if you count the very first salient experience that I had, we're talking about over 3 decades. So I've had a lot of questions to ask. Alright, a lot of questions which I have found satisfactory either answers or lack of answers for quite early on in my occult career, by comparison to the chronological age that I am now. So sometimes someone asks me a question and it relates back to something which I had knowledge of or some understanding of, let's say 20 years ago. Therefore it becomes difficult for me to try and go back to that particular subject at times, okay, and try and explain the quality of reasoning that brought me to a certain conclusion. I don't want to try and alienate myself from you, whoever you are. That isn't my goal here. But I have a certain point of view. I'm not trying to alienate myself against people. I try and alienate myself against ideas. A lot of the time. Okay, yes, there are some groups of people who I don't respect because they are, they are their argument, if you get my drift. And that can be difficult. But the individual who's got some valid questions and they want to ask it to me, then fine. Do feel free to ask those questions. I might ridicule the question, but I certainly don't wish to ridicule you. And I want that understood. I do have lots of questions asked to me, and lots of them are about candle burning for some reason. So I tend to provide the example of candle burning. As if you get a yellow candle, you light it on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It won't necessarily rain on Thursday, okay? Because we don't understand the mechanisms. And essentially, a lot of the things we've got to say is that we don't know about the vast majority of things associated with this particular subject, which is why everything is down to experimentation and exploration. Do not take it personally if I am attacking some question or some issue that you're putting to me. Alright? But try and learn from that. And yeah, I do use a certain level of theatricals to express my disdain for a position. Because I want people who are curious about occultism, spiritualism, magic, or whatever you want to call it this week. People who do internet searches and YouTube searches to come across my videos at some point. And to get some perspective as to what I personally feel is right and what I personally feel is wrong. And using the visual medium of video, the best way to convey that is emotionally. Because people react to emotional expression. And from emotional expression, people do a lot more learning than they do through, factual explanations, as I found out, of course, much earlier on in my YouTube career, when some of my videos were rather grainy, low light quality. I think the the famous, so to speak, demonology video that I did sitting on a small pile of books in the corner of my room, and the only source of illumination was actually a reading lamp, which I sort of pointed in the direction of my face. And I also had I think it was a chewing gum container in the line of sight of the video camera itself, and so it was appalling. But I gave the information, and people didn't seem to pick up on the straight delivery of this then that, or if this then that, hypothetically, or this could be real, this couldn't be real, and that kind of logical progression, expression, understanding. People just don't do that. And by the way, I know this is hard for most people out there to realize, and that is that when I put up a video, I'm not just talking to you. Okay? Or when I'm making a comment on a comment section, I'm not just replying to that particular person. This whole thing on YouTube is a public forum. So what I'm doing is I'm expressing points of view. Okay? I also want to have a laugh and have a bit of a joke as well. But I'm trying to make sure that the greatest number of people understand where I'm coming from. And I'm not just doing this as to find the weakest gazelle in the herd and hunt it down because that would be fun. I'm not trying to be a bully or a thug. I'm not trying to do ownership or pissing contests with anybody. Alright, if you've actually been watching my channel for a long enough period of time, you'll know that when I am talking about what someone has sent me, I normally don't even mention who the fuck they are. I don't even mention their channel names, or I don't describe them. I don't give you their first names, normally. There are some cases when there are some individuals out there, or some movements out there, and yes, I do damn well name them, because the moment you're aware of there being some kind of unpleasantness in the world, you have some kind of responsibility to it if you don't do anything about it, and that's because someone takes away the responsibility from you for that one thing, in which case the full responsibility is on them, possibly even doubly so, because they're they're the ones who's acted to take responsibility away from you. That's the way I see it. It's just kind of like Nick Dutch's interpretation of karma, but that's only my interpretation. But with this one, this one particular issue, relax. I don't hate you. Alright, I'm not trying to be aggressive with you. I have to use this medium to express where I'm coming from. And if I don't, then I'm being very disingenuous. So, don't be so sensitive. Relax. Chill out. I don't want to hurt you. And, life is really quite sweet. Even if you're having an argument with Nick Dutch. Keep cool.